This is AFRICUNIA television news updates reaching you from our studio in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Deborah Ezeh, and many thanks for joining me. Now, looking into the African scene in Nigeria, the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine may further prolong the over 3-week scarcity of premium motor spirit petrol in Nigeria, as bulk of the refined products coming into the country from the warring region and its adjoining areas are likely to face some delays. It was also gathered on Sunday that traders who supply Nigeria with refined petroleum products might possibly lead due to the deficit in the supply of crude oil cargoes from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. Meanwhile, the cost of shipping crude oil on supersized tankers from the United States Gulf Coast to the United Kingdom and Asia surged after attacks on vessels in the Black Sea unleashed the risk-based premium into global shipping markets. And still in Nigeria, the lead-up to President Muhammadu Buhari's ascent to the long-awaited Electoral Act 2022 was attended by protest. The aftermath doesn't appear to have ushered in much quiet either. Center for Democracy and Development yesterday kicked against the proposed amendment of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Amendment Act. CDD's director, Ezeh, maintained there was no need to alter the act, since it was in tandem with tenets of democracy, while right activists urged that the extant provision of the law would ensure a level playing field for aspirants seeking party nomination for various elective seats in the country. And still on the African scene, Burkina Faso's ruling junta, the Patriotic Movement for Safeguard and Restoration (MPSR), holds a press conference to respond to the proposal of 13-month transition period to return to constitutional rule by a newly created Transition Charter Committee. The commission proposed a 30-month transition led by junta leader Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Santiago de Miba. It also suggests the establishment of a small government and legislative body with a maximum of 20 and 50 members respectively. The proposal was confirmed by a source close to the presidency, who said that inclusive general elections will be held after the transition period. And in Chad, some 500 people demonstrated on Saturday in response to a call from the opposition against the ruling military junta in Chad. The protesters are also chanting slogans against France, which they have accused of supporting the regime. The ruling junta has said democratic elections will be held at the end of an 18-month transitional period, but with the parliament having been dissolved and the constitution repealed, many like Majibeye Modeste, a protester in Chad, fear for the future of democracy. The junta had promised an inclusive national dialogue open to the opposition and all the armed rebel movement that has been attacking the government for decades. But this dialogue has already been postponed several times, and it is now scheduled for the 10th of May with a very strong chance that it will be postponed again. And now on to the foreign scene. Russia's political and economic isolation deepened on Monday as its forces met stiff resistance in Ukraine's capital and other cities in the biggest assault on an European state since World War II. President Vladimir Putin put Russia's nuclear deterrent on high alert on Sunday in the face of a barrage of Western-led reprisal for his war on Ukraine, which said it had repelled Russian ground forces' attempts to capture urban centers. Ukraine said negotiations with Moscow without preconditions will be held at Belarusian-Ukrainian border. And now moving on, the Vatican is ready to facilitate dialogue between Russia and Ukraine to end the war. Secretary of State Cardinal Pietro Parolin, who ranks second only to the Pope in the Vatican hierarchy, told Italian newspaper that despite the war unleashed by Russia against Ukraine, he was convinced there is always room for negotiations. And now on to the European markets. Crude oil jumped while the rouble plunged nearly 30% to a record low on Monday after Western nations imposed tough new sanctions on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, including blocking some banks from SWIFT's global payment system. Safe haven demand boosted bonds along with the dollar and yen, while the euro sank after Russian President Vladimir Putin put nuclear armed forces on high alert on Sunday, the fourth day of the biggest assault on a European state since World War II. And now on to the sports scene. Liverpool beat Chelsea 11-10 on penalties to win the League Cup final at Wembley on Sunday after the match finished 0-0 following extra time. Both sides suffered the frustration of having goals ruled out by VAR for offside, and neither was able to break the deadlock in 120 minutes of action. Liverpool scored all 11 of the penalties, but Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, who came on as a substitute for the shootout, failed to convert a sports kick. And finally, Manchester City dominated rivals United in the second half to advance to the quarter-finals of the Women's FA Cup with a 4-1 win at the Lear Sports Village. United had capitalized on their early authority to take the lead in the 13th minute when Katie Zellem's corner sailed all the way into the net untouched at the far post. City could not make their possession count before the break, but two half-time changes altered the flow of the game as Caroline Ware and Ailey Russell replaced Vicky Lasoda and Jess Park. And that's all from us on News Update today. You can catch up with our news and other programs by following our respective social media platforms on Jointim, Pangram, Instagram and Facebook respectively. And also you can visit our website on www.africunia.tv. Once again, I'm Deborah Ezeh. Bye for now.